Hello everyone, this is Aisha here. I hope you guys are fine. This is Aisha, teacher Aisha, ma'am Aisha, to all of my students from the different schools where I taught all of you guys. I still receive all of your messages. I still see your comments, your messages on the videos, your messages in Zoom, chats, in Hangouts, and I seriously, I'm so happy. This connection that I feel with you guys, it makes me so happy. So, okay, so today I'm making a video because I was teaching uh, poems to my students. Okay, so we were doing rhyming poems, but as you already know that when you okay, as a teacher, if you're watching this video, you already know this, that when you are teaching in an American curriculum and your lessons follow a theme. Okay, because you start a unit and the unit goes. It has one unit has lessons. Okay, so all of those lessons, all of those different story texts or the passages or the text that you are reading with your students, all of those texts or all of those lessons will follow one theme, one big idea, the idea that you want to develop in the minds of your students. Okay, so the unit that I started or the theme that I was following with my students this time was how to be a hero or who is the real hero. Okay, because we read about or we watch actors and actresses and people on big screen, but who is actually the real hero? Whom should we actually consider the real heroes in real life? Okay, so this was the theme, that this was the idea that I was trying to build in my students' minds. Okay, remember this thing, when we are following, when we start a unit, the purpose of having a unit is to build that idea by the end of the unit. When the unit ends, when all of those lessons end after, let's say, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, when that unit ends, okay, that idea should be built in the minds of your students. Okay, which means that during that unit, when you do any lesson, it should be connected to that theme, it should be connected to that idea. So the theme, the big idea that we were following, that I was I was building in my students mind, was about the heroic personalities, the people who are actually heroes in real life. So we were reading about even the real life people like Rosa Parks. Then we read about fictional characters who are not real life characters, but they are related and they are very close to our real life. Okay, so we were we were reading about two boys who were very young, but then they were trying to help their mother, and they were too young, but still they called 911. So like we were relating every text, every story, everything to to this theme, to this idea of how to be a hero. Okay, so then I had the lesson of poem. Okay, so the poem also, of course, if you're teaching like this in an American curriculum, you have to relate every lesson to the theme. So the poem also, I related it to that idea, to that theme of how to be a hero or who is the real hero. So let me just share screen and let me show you, because I gave them like an assignment. I gave them an assignment to and one more thing, when we do when we teach the students, okay, we can't just directly give them something to do if we didn't practice it with them, if we didn't model it for them. We have to must show them first how to do it. Okay, because this, what is a skill? A skill is something that needs practice. One, first, second, third, fourth time. It needs practice, 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 and that practice, that gradual practice, will then turn into their skill that will stay with them forever, right? So when I had to teach them how to, or when I had to give them an assignment to create a poem, of course I had to model it for them. I had to show to them that you can actually create a poem by me showing them that I am creating a poem, right? So I gave them two samples of poems. I'll just share screen and I'll show you. So the first sample was this one, where I created this poem. Okay, so I showed them, I had to show them. Okay, when you are teaching something, you have to show everything, if it's their first time, you have to go into detail of everything so they are not confused. And if it's something really new for them in the beginning, of course it will take more teaching time from you, but still try to keep them engaged where you try to ask them questions so it doesn't look like that you are teaching the whole, you are talking the whole time. Keep them engaged so you have responses from them to continue the lesson, to give feedback and continue the lesson. So now this one is the poem, and I was writing this poem. I gave them this poem to give them an idea that your dad is your hero since he is protecting you, he is providing for you, he is doing so much for you, right? So the title of the poem, I showed them that this one is the title of the poem, My Dad, My Hero. And my expectation from my students in this lesson was to create a poem that revolves around this theme of or a figure whom they consider a hero or who has heroic qualities, and also the skill that I want to see in the poem is that I want them to use rhyming words. Okay, so of course, if I'm modeling for them, if I'm giving them a sample, I have to use all of these things in my poem as well. So the figure that I'm using here is dad, okay, father, and then I'm using rhyming words at the end of line. So, dad, you're my hero, I say, makes you happy every day. This is first stanza for them. Then you pick me up when I'm down. You make me strong when I frown. You teach me to be responsible when I ignore homework and hide in a secret bubble. Daily I learn something from you, at home or outside. Only you are the one I follow. So this is the thing that I do with my students, that whenever I give them a poem to read and then to create, because you must, no matter whatever the lesson is, but you have to take them to the level of creation. If they are not creating, then just understanding, just reading will not matter. You have to, every lesson should have a creation part, should have that object of creating something. They should create something at the end. What you teach them, they use it and then make something out of it. So if you're teaching them a poem and you are teaching them rhyming words, that by the end they should create from their own minds, their own ideas, create a poem and use, apply rhyming words into it. So this was my modeling for them. I modeled this poem for them and I showed them. You see, your dad is your hero. Okay, so again, this is related to that theme that I am following throughout the unit of how big heroes act, how real life heroes act, how real life heroes are, or how to be a hero. And then I showed them rhyming words by actually using rhyming words in this poem. Okay, so this was my first model for them. And then when I gave them an assignment, like a bigger assignment to make a poem uh, and see, when you are working in UAE, right, you have to integrate the values of UAE and everything about UAE, the culture of UAE into your academic teaching, into your teaching, into your lessons, and integrate it as much as you can. Every lesson, try to do it every lesson, or try to do it every week, like as much as you can. Okay. So this was the first model. Now in this one, you can't see direct relation to the culture of UAE or the identities or the values of UAE. But the second model that I gave them, okay, I'll just stop sharing screen and I'll share the second model. So you can see how I integrated the culture and the values, or like the complete idea of UAE into this theme, this unit. So I'll just share screen again and I'll show you. Just 1 second. Okay. So this was the second point that I showed them. I modeled for them, and I was expecting this. I showed them that this is exactly what you have to create, and this is how you have to do, because I gave them an assignment to create a poem, use your rhyming words, and the poem should be about Sheikh Zayed. So this poem, and I told them, okay, you can go to Google because you have to. This develops your researching skills, and they have to research as much as they can. So I told them, you must also go to Google and read as many poems as you can, but you cannot copy them. You cannot copy them, and by the end, uh, see, you need to use all of the research to grow your own ideas, to increase your own knowledge and your own information. But by the end, you have to create your own poem. So I showed them a sample of how you have to do it. Just mention at the top my project. Okay. Then I showed them again poem. So I showed them that this title, I am giving this title because this is my poem. This is the poem that I have written. I didn't take it from Google. I researched. I'm increasing my knowledge. I'm reading, studying, but this is my poem. So I am deciding the title for my poem. So since this is me who is writing the poem, so I will be the poet. Okay. So this also shows your students like the presentation skills of their work. They have to know how to present their work. They should know the criteria of work presentation. Okay, so in order for them to understand your expectation, you need to at least give them in a model, a sample in the beginning, so they know exactly how to do it. If you have done it the first time, second, third time, then fourth and fifth time, they will already be very familiar with this thing, so they wouldn't need more samples from you. So then let's go and let's see. So I'm actually more excited because I want to share the poem that I created about Sheikh Zayed. So the poem is for Sheikh Zayed, and I am the poet, and these are the stanzas that I made. Okay, and the lines and the stanzas. The first stanza starting with, I'll just read the poem. Sheikh Zayed, the great, changed the nation's fate. So I use rhyming words at the end, great and fate. Now, I also had to teach them when, because if you ask them to write a poem, they have to know that the poem will not be generated just like this. They need to have their own idea. They need to have an idea. Like I told them that I made this first stanza because the idea in my mind was that I wanted to say that Sheikh Zayed was a great leader, and he changed, like he has changed the life for us. He has changed the direction in which our life would go. He has changed it for us. So how I put it into words, into lines, short lines, interesting lines, and how I can use rhyming words for this idea. So every stanza has an idea, and for that idea, in order to put that idea into words, I need to also use rhyming words. Not all the, I also told them that all the poems do not have rhyming words. Okay, there can be poems that have like hyperbole, or that have onomatopoeia or alliteration, okay, or acrostic poems. But this poem is a rhyming poem, so they need to show me rhyming words. In order for them to do it, I need to model for them. I need to give them a sample. So first of all, I made this point. Now I showed them, and next they will be familiar with my expect. They will know my expectations, and they will be able to make it. So Sheikh Zayed, the great, changed the nation's fate. Zayed, a great leader, nation's true builder. I think I should just zoom more into it so everybody can see it more clearly on the screen. I chose this picture because I really like this picture. I told them all that you have to choose your favorite picture of Sheikh Zayed. So I showed them that this is the picture that I am choosing. You have to go choose your own picture. So it gives them like more independence in their work. If you try to limit their ideas, they will not feel that sort of like independence and freedom in the work. You have to give them like, okay, use unlimited ideas, use whatever you like keep on using this word, whatever is your favorite thing, whatever you want to do, choose your style of work. So they will feel like they have a say in it, like they have freedom to choose, like they have independence in their working style. Okay, so then the Zayed, a great leader, nation's true builder. Then I told them that in this, when I was writing the lines, I already had an idea in my mind that the Sheikh Zayed, he built our nation. So how to put it in the way that it looks interesting to read, like a poem, like lines and stanzas. So Zayed, a great leader, nation's true builder. Okay, so this is the second idea. Then third idea, before even starting to read the third stanza, I told them now my idea is that I want to talk about how he brought seven Emirates together. Okay, so brought all seven Emirates closer, showed a strength as a leader. So now by this point they were telling me, okay, teacher, closer. Okay, miss, closer and leader, they rhyme. Okay, miss, so it's now about seven Emirates. It's about all the Emirates. So they will understand if you model it for them. You can't. Okay, fine. There is a rule of 10 minutes teaching. Okay, but when a concept is very new to the students, they will struggle with it if you don't model it properly, if you don't teach it properly. So take the beginning, the initial teaching time when you are new with them, okay, and when the concept especially is new for them, you will need more time. Like you will need more time, okay. But during that time, keep them super engaged. They are also talking, and it doesn't look like only you are talking in the teaching time. So let's continue with our fourth stanza, a short stanza. We look up to him as our father. We follow him as our teacher. I was so happy when I made this poem. This all this whole poem I made this. I created this poem because I wanted to show my students that you can create a poem. You can have an idea, put it into lines, use rhyming words. Then our love for him is forever. His guidance for us is our power. I'll scroll. Nothing in this world can ever erase our love. Among all great minds, he is the one above. So they were already picking the rhyming words. They were already getting the idea of what, how we have to like focus our thinking on one person and think about him, what ideas we have about him, and then write about him. You can't just give them like an assignment. You go do it. No, model it very properly in a very constructed way for them, so they will pick it at the very beginning. So then our wonderful leader, forever our mentor, kindness and humility was his motto. Our responsibility is now to follow. Great Baba Zayed, true hero Zayed. When I made this poem, I was so happy that I was like, okay, I'm going to make a video and I'm going to share it. So I love this poem so much, and I have saved this poem in a folder with me. So I just wanted to share this little model that I did for my students. So if you're a teacher, make sure that you are modeling properly and at the right time when they actually need that modeling from you. And then you will see that they will be able to create the same thing, because kids, they pick very quickly. If you model properly, they will pick so quickly, and they will, like, if you repeat those words will sit in their mind, okay, and you won't even believe, in no time they will be repeating those words, the same words that you are saying, they will be repeating those words because you used it, okay. So we can't say that zero teacher talking time, because if teacher didn't talk, teacher didn't use those words will not sit in their mind. Okay, so use your teaching time so well, and know that which words you have to repeat in order for them to like get a hang of those words and know those words. So I had to use these words, poem, rhyming words, and about the hero, about great personality. So when you use the words at the right time and in the teaching time, your kids will get it. You won't even like unconsciously they will pick those things that you are indirectly trying to put in their mind. They will get it. So now my students have been sending me, and I was so amazed at the very first poem that I saw from my student, and I was so amazed. Such a beautiful poem he has made about Sheikh Zayed. So this was the poem that I shared, and the other poem was about my dad, my hero. So I started with the basic. I see this is also the thing that if you are introducing something, start from the basic level. Okay, every kid sees his father as a hero. So start with the basics. Start with something they are familiar with, and then go to the unknown. Go to something that they are not familiar with. Okay, so every kid sees their father as a hero. So start with that. Show them the poem about their dad, their hero. So then build it to the bigger concept. Then take it to the leader. Okay, so they already have an idea of a hero. They already know how they see their father as a hero, and then how they see their leader as a hero. So this was the idea in my mind. So this is how I taught the poem, the rhyming words, and I built that idea, that theme that I'm following in the unit, in the whole unit that covers like 5 to 6 weeks. Okay, so this is how I use this poem to build that same idea that all of the lessons are revolving around. So thank you so much for watching. I'll stop sharing the screen. And I hope you guys like this video. If any teachers are watching, if any students are watching, I hope you got ideas from it. Take care. Bye.